fucking lying, always lying to me. You lying so much, you making it hard for me.
Shalom, shalom. Kol holo Yahweh Bashum Yahushua Bashum Ruka Kodash. The bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders, agree most on Ruel to us is truth. Much respect to you brothers out there, preaching his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle David, hopefully liking the speckled bird, I want to say shalom. So I just want to do this quick lesson through the spirit. I saw that Netflix pretty much was coming out with the story of Moses. All right, a little movie or show about Moses. And clearly, as you see, what stands out, all right, what stands out, all right, they made him what appears to be a so-called white man, all right, they made him an Edomite. And, you know, you have the new movie that just came out, The Book of Clarence, you know, as far as the depiction of Yahushua, that was more closely to what Yahushua would look like, you know, so-called black man with a beard, woolly hair. But here, all right, Esau Edom, you know, he can't let Jake get away with that. So, of course, he got to come out with his own movie or show to show that, he's the people. All right. And when you do your research, all right, how as an Edomite, you're going to be out there in the hot blazing sun, building up Egypt, brick by brick, layer by layer, getting your ass beat in the hot blistering sun. All right, when the sun doesn't even like you, all right, you get burnt. You do your research. Pretty much the highest rate of skin cancer is over there in our Holy Land, right? Why? Because you are not meant to be over there. As a matter of fact, you are the biggest welfare state. Let's get some more pictures, you know, as a brother put up, you know, the work of the devil. They made Mozart an Edomite when Mozart was a Jake. All right, and here the scriptures speak of that we are the salt of the earth. Everybody wants to be like Jake, but they don't want to go through Jake's sorrow, man. All right, you want to be like Jake, but you don't want to go through Jake's sorrow. You want to proclaim that you're the people of the Lord, but you don't follow. You don't follow what the Lord tell you to follow. All right. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who's the one that's putting themselves up as the Messiah, as the people of the Bible? The other nations ain't doing that. All right, there ain't no Moab, Yahushua. There ain't no Moab, Ishmael. You know, they're not out here painting. Now I will say this, you know, you do have Moab trying to write his own version of the Bible, but he's gonna be judged for that, following after the ways of Esau Edom, because he's writing his own versions of the Bible. If I'm not mistaken, they're coming out with this alphabet-friendly Bible. You know, all types of madness, man. You know, these are just pictures that I have examples of, you know, showing you that we, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, are the true people, are the true biblical people of the Bible, man. We are the Israelites. All right. King James, he was a Jake. All right. A clear as day right here. Ancient images of Joseph and his brother. These people were of color. Right? We are the people. Once again, as an Edomite, how you going to be out there in the hot, blistering sun, building up the land of Egypt, getting your ass whooped? All right? And the Lord was merciful and didn't have you out there, man. All right? Hey, best believe, though, your time is coming. You are going to be out there in the hot, blistering sun, building up our kingdom very, very soon. But it's just, you weren't the people. You were not there building up the land of Egypt. You were not the people. All right. Brother brought out, which I'll probably read a little. Matter of fact, it's right here. First Maccabees 3 and verse 48. And they laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. And that's what they have done. You know, it speaks volume. You know, this goes even harder for me as an artist. You know, Yahweh Radazah might have been one of those brothers back then that drew the brothers out there, that made some paintings of Yahweh Shai and the angels and the prophets. Hey, you know, man's goings of the Lord. You know, the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. You know, different, same spirit, but different body. All right, just coming back, doing what you did in your past life. All right. So some of these images I may have seen or may have not seen, you know, in my past life, they might be out there, man. I might have done them. But as you see, he says, but suppose God is black and if we go to heaven, all right, because whether you believe it or not, when you pass away, you get sent to the spirit realm, man. And there's peace. The wicked and the good is sent to the heavenly realm, man. And you have peace. And you just await for your judgment when you come back down to earth in a new body, but it's your same spirit. Right? And it says, what if we go to heaven and we all live and we all our lives have treated the Negro as inferior, and God is there, and we look up and he is not white? What then is our response? John F. Kennedy. All right. You're going to realize that you messed up. The scriptures speak of, don't touch the apple of my eye. All right. Do my prophets no harm. And you have done that. And so you have to pay for that. Once again, all the prophets are black, so-called black. All right. Folks of ancient artifacts they tried to destroy. Now we see why you hate the Negroes. All right. We see why you hate us. Because you ain't us, man. All right. Read that earlier. But this is Psalms 50 and verse 16. Slaggy, give me 1 second. But unto the wicked power saith, what hast thou to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my word behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him and hast been partakers with adulterers. You see, you're contrary to the ways of the Bible. You're contrary to the Lord, man. You do everything opposite. The Lord said you're supposed to, when you're prophesying and when you're reading, when you're praying, all right, you're not supposed to have your head covered. This man does the opposite. He has his head covered. All right. Lord said, wear fringes. This man put on little twisty zeets in his head, man. You know, this man follows the Talmud, and there's a whole bunch of wickedness that they uphold in that. All right. They uphold that over the Bible. Why? Because they are the wicked. All right. Matter of fact, the scriptures speak of you're not in trouble as other men. So the Lord pretty much has you in the trick bag to do all this wickedness. And so when the Lord does bring down the hammer upon you, you're not going to be able to bear your judgment. All right. Because you hate instruction. You were the wicked. You were the vessels that were created to dishonor the Lord and fitted for destruction. Verse 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frameth deceit. You see, you're not the people. You say, oh, I'm the people. And then your other Edomite counterparts say, oh, there is no God. You know why they say that as well? Because they want to live their lives as beasts, man. They have that do what thy will spirit, which pretty much you'll have Jake out here, especially in Babylon the Great, follow after that, man. Do what thy will. But the Lord is about to put a stop to that. All right, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, you see? Why? Because you hate us, and thou slanderest thy own mother's son. All right? The accuser of thy brethren. All right? You're going to have to pay for that. Y'all here painting yourself as the people, but you're not living like the people should. All right? You can have this kingdom very, very prosperous. But instead, since you love blood and you hate the children of Israel, you rather for this kingdom to go down the drain, man. All right? And that's why you're going to be taken out of power. And let's get some of these scriptures right here. This is pretty much one of the points right here to show you that Moses was a so-called black man. All right? He had melanin. Now you'll have Jake out there in the world. Melanin. All right, that shows. Hey, all these other nations have melanin. What makes you better than these other nations is that you're the chosen nation. All right? You're the chosen people. You're greater than all these other nations, man. Once again, these other nations have melanin too, but they don't call themselves black. Only you call yourself black, Jake. All right? Once again, what makes you special is that the Lord called you. The Lord chosen you to be above all people, above all nations, man. And this man Esau Edom knows that. We're better than him in every aspect. Let's get this. Exodus 4 and verse 1. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, the Lord Yahweh have not appeared unto thee. You know, because back then, you know, this is what makes our generation special. You know, even in the time of Acts, right now, this is the new book of Acts. The Lord is dealing with those that did not have to see miracles. The Lord is dealing with those that did not see him, but have faith in him already. And know that this ain't it, man. And know that this is our kingdom. It's like that our kingdom is to come. And this kingdom ain't our rest, man. All right? We read these scriptures and it speak loudly to us, man. Right? Because the Lord chosen you. All right? And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, what is that in thy hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground and became a serpent. You know, the spiritual power. And Moses fled before it. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, put forth thy hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. You see that? Hey, we gonna get that spiritual power too. Yeah, all right, desire we those men. We gonna get that spiritual power. These people, you know, don't be surprised when men get that spiritual power when that time comes. You know, just like in the time of Acts, you know, a lot of believers came into the truth. You know, don't be surprised it's gonna happen again. Let's see, verse 5. Slakia. This is 4. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, put forth thy hand and take it by the tail. Put forth his hand, caught it, it became a rod, that they may believe that the Lord Yahweh, power of the fathers, of their fathers, God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have appeared before unto thee. And the Lord Yahweh said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. All right. This is pretty much the point. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, it became his hand. It's like When he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. All right, that's what it means to be leprous, man. When the Lord takes away your pigment. Now, Esau Edom, he's a clean leper. All right, but back then, somebody became lepers. Like you see those jakes that have them spots around them, you know, where they're dark skinned and extremely pale in these spots. That's leprosy, man. All right, that's a form of leprosy. And so as you see, this goes to show you how can Moses be a so-called white man when he put forth his hand and his hand came out looking like this man's hand, if not whiter. All right, let's go back to it. And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it turned again as his other flesh. You see that? Why didn't it describe his other flesh? Why? Because you already knew. You should already know that he was a dark-skinned man. All right. Let's get a couple more scriptures, you know, to pretty much substantiate that a lot of the prophets, a lot of the men of the Lord, the people in general, one of the phenotypes is to be melanated. All right. Once again, Jake get that bugged out demon, and they hear melanin and think that's pretty much, you know, that's pretty much gold, which it is gold. But once again, what makes you better than all the other nations is that the Lord chosen you. All these other nations were born with melanin. Esau Edom was stripped of his melanin. That's one of his punishments. All right, the mark of Cain, that's one of his punishments to show you. All right, to show you who he is. Acts 21 and verse 37. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto his chief captain, may I speak unto thee? Who said, canst thou speak Greek? Art thou not the Egyptian? You see, they calling Paul an Egyptian. Why they call him an Egyptian? Why? Because he was a dark-skinned man. All right, going back to the pictures right here, man. All right, we were out there building up Egypt, man, and the Egyptians ruled over us, and Jake can look like an Egyptian, man. All right, Egyptians have dark skin, which before these days made us an uproar and lead us out into the wilderness for 4,000 men that were murderers. And Paul said, I am a man, which I am a Jew of Tarsus. You see that? A Jew of Tarsus in a city in Sicily, a citizen of no mean city, and I beseech ye, suffer me to speak unto the people. All right? Just like here in Babylon the Great, you know, they try to call you an African American, but really, you're a Jake from your respective tribe. Say you're Jake from Judah that lives in Babylon the Great, that lives in America. That's who you are, man. All right. Romans 11:1. I say then, has power cast away his people? Power forbid. For I am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. You see that? And what this man say that Paul looked like, he said he looked like an Egyptian. Egyptians were dark-skinned people. All right. Let's get these last scriptures. I'll pretty much close out on right there. That's, you know, pretty much the point. Matthew 2 and verse 13. This is about Yahushua fleeing into Egypt. Now, one of my brothers had posted up the picture. Man, I wish I would have found it. I would have put it in here, but you know, you had If I'm not mistaken, it was like an Edomite surrounded by Jakes, if I'm not mistaken. And it said Jesus. It said Jesus fleeing into Egypt. And why did they flee into Egypt, man? This is the question that you got to ask yourself, because you can blend in with the Egyptians. All right. You can blend in with the Egyptians. And that's one of the reasons and why they did that, man. All right. And when they departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take young child and his mother and flee into Egypt. Be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. It's not new under the sun. That Edomite rage, that Edomite wrath, and them always constantly trying to destroy us. All right. Now they do it. Jake do it so willfully here in Babylon the Great with Planned Parenthood. And when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt. Why they do that once again? Why did they go into Egypt? Why? Because they can blend in. And was there unto the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt he came. It's like, out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of wise men, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and in all the coasts, therefore, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. It was prophesied of the birth of Yahushua. And in Edomite fashion, they always want to stop our people, man. Even here in Babylon the Great, you see some of these Jake leaders, they control the oppositions, man. You can't have a strong Jake leader. That's why they mad at this truth, because we're not militant, we're not carnal, we're spiritual, and we trust and believe in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? Get these scriptures, Song of Solomon 1 and verse 5. Now, if you have understanding, you'll understand, all right, if you can receive it. Solomon is the son of David, all right, which David was a so-called black man, all right. And Solomon is Yahushua, all right. Scriptures for another day, all right. Scriptures for another day, lesson for another day, all right. Because it was prophesied that King Solomon will be beaten with many stripes. You can look it up yourself. Once again, not going to get it right now. Scriptures for another day. King Solomon was prophesied to be beaten with many stripes. And he died peacefully. So when he came as Yahushua, he was beaten with many stripes. He was put on the cross. He had to die for our sins. And he had no woman. Now in the book of Clarence, he tried to show him with Mary Magdalene, no, Yahushua had no woman. Why? Because when he was King Solomon, he had many women, right? Let's see, I am black, and you go into that word black. The Hebrew word is kadar, meaning dark skinned. Now these heathens will read that, because they carnal as hell, or they don't want to believe that the Messiah and the men of the Lord was so-called black men. They'll read that, and this is one of the reasons why they wear all black, right? It says, I am black but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black. You see that? Because I am a dark-skinned man, because the sun have looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept. All right. So yes, if you have the understanding, King Solomon is Yahushua and King Solomon was a dark-skinned man. And many other scriptures, man, which substantiate that Yahushua and the prophets, men of the Lord, the people in general, were so-called black people, all right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled bird. All right, you are the children of Israel. All right, so that's pretty much the point, man. Yahweh Razazah is an edifying lesson. Want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, Rakah, Godash, and the Wa Abba Shalom.